the lost sale close, which is called the doorknob close. Anybody heard of this one? It's a very powerful close. It's after you've tried to sell somebody something, and they obviously won't buy it, and they are resisting you in every way, and they've got a hidden objection. They won't tell you what it is. You finally say, okay, and gracefully you say, Mr. Prospect, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I've taken too much of your time. I hope I can get back to you a little bit later with some more information on this. And they'll always say yes, yes, and they're happy. You're leaving now. Oh, thank heavens. Their mind starts to go to what they're going to do as soon as you're out of sight, and their sales resistance begins to drop like a thermometer on a cold day. Then you say, thank you, and I appreciate it, and you pack up your stuff, and you get up, and you walk, and as you put your hand on the doorknob, with your briefcase in your hand, or whatever it is, you turn around and you say, Mr. Prospect, just before I go, may I ask you one question? I've tried to present my product information the best way I know how, and I'm not very experienced in this business. I'd really appreciate it if you just tell me this. What was the real reason you didn't buy today? And invariably the person sitting there, comfortable, no pressure, mind on something else, they say, well, I'll tell you, this is the real reason. And they will give you the final objection. And then you say, oh, Mr. Prospect, you mean I didn't explain that to you properly? Oh, that's my fault, dog. Got it. And you walk right back in. This will just take one more second, and you sit down, you open up your briefcase, and you start closing on that final objection. He says, well, the reason I didn't buy was because I'm really not convinced that that machine will produce the kind of copies that we require. Mr. Prospect, you mean I didn't explain that properly? We have a warranty and a guarantee that covers that, and if we could get you that, would you be willing to go ahead right now? And you just sit right in there and close again. But now you have no sales resistance. Very powerful close. And finally, closing on referrals. I cannot stress this more strongly. Every single customer or non-customer, buyer or non-buyer, is a source of referrals. And getting referrals requires a method. A referral is worth 10 to 15 times a cold call. When you get a referral, you are piggybacking on the credibility of the person that referred you. You can get in to see anybody if you have a referral from somebody who knows them closely. So when you are talking about referrals, what you do is this. The person has either bought or not bought. It could even be somebody that's bought in the past, and you go back and call on them. I have a very good friend here in town who is a very smart salesperson. In the first month of each year, after Christmas and New Year and everything, he goes and he visits every single customer of the last year. And he drops in on them, and he calls in, and he says, how are you doing? How's everything going? Having any problems? Anything I can help you with? Are you satisfied with the service? Is the product working out? He just does a social call, not to sell them anything. And if they have any complaints, he jots it down and promises to take care of it. If they're happy, he thanks them very much. And then before he goes, he said, by the way, we're starting off in a new year. Who else do you know who might be interested in this product or service this year? And people say, well, and after a nice 10, 15-minute talk, they say, why don't you call Bill Smith and so-and-so? I talked to him over the holidays, and they'll give you names and addresses and phone numbers of people that they know. In any case, this is the way that you get referrals. You say, Mr. Prospect, and this is a series of closing techniques. Mr. Prospect or Mr. Customer, however it is, would you happen to know 2 or 3 other people that I could talk to who might be interested in this product or service too? Whether they take the product or not. Well, the person will say, yeah, I may know a couple of people. In other words, this is an alternative close. You said, would you know 2 or 3? They'll choose 2. You say, I would really appreciate it if I could get their names. And the person will say, well, call Bill Smith or Tom Jones. All right, you write the names down. You say, would you happen to have their telephone numbers handy? Now, they always do, because they'll almost invariably refer people they know very closely. They'll give you the phone numbers from their book, and you write down the phone numbers. And you say, Mr. Prospect, of these 2, which one do you think I should call on first? And they'll say, well, probably old Bill, because he's just opened a new office and so on. And so, Mr. Prospect, would you do me a favor? Would you call Bill and tell him that I'm coming over to see him to talk to him about this? Now, you see, he said yes, 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 yes. He said about 5 yes. Yes, I can give you 2. Yes, here's 2 names. Yes, here's 2 telephone numbers. Yes, Bill is the best. And he'll pick up the telephone, and he'll call up Bill, and he'll say, look, Tom Smith is coming over to show you something that I just found very interesting. I think you should talk to him. That's basically what the conversation will be. And when you go over to see him, you'll go right past the secretary. They'll sit you down, give you a cup of coffee, and say, what have you got? And you're right into it. And it's better to do that than to spend all day cold calling, looking for people that you've never talked to before. If you get referrals properly and you develop a referral generating system by closing on referrals in each case, you will never have to make cold calls after the first 30 or 60 days in your field. You never should have to. If you're still making cold calls, it just simply means that you're not getting enough referrals. They find that in insurance, if a person can go out and talk to 10 people that they know, get 5 names each, and from those keep getting 2 names from each one, they never have to cold call again.